Good morning, everybody. How we all doing today? This is Rumblewig 420. We are here on a Labor Day morning. I'm going to kick back, chat, sesh, have a great time. Just want to say I thank and appreciate each and every one of you that swing by when we do these lives. We have a great community that we all are supporting, and it's a beautiful thing. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to get some things set up this morning while we're waiting to see if anybody's going to swing by. So, hey, everybody, stand by. I'll keep an eye on the chat, but I'm going to get some stuff set up for when we do our little sesh later. I think that'd be good. I think that'd be good indeed. I don't know if I like this shirt yet. I just got it. I don't know. I guess it's all right. Collar just looks weird on it. Huh? Scotty, good morning, man. Hey, no problem. I know you'll always swing by this early in the morning. Hope you had a good night. Sauce, what's going on? Thanks for swinging in. This is great. It's nice and early. People are either getting up or going to bed or doing whatever. And yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. Man, I saw some killer lives from people yesterday. I got to tell you, Jimmy John's live. He had sizable number of people in there. Great conversations going on. That was really nice. As I'm learning, as I sit here and talk with you guys and girls, it's interesting when I go back and check and find out that I don't have freaking notifications set for everybody that I want them for. So it's all right. It's a good way for me to stay up on top of myself and make sure I'm hitting people's channels. Oh, Sauce, it's time to open up another bottle of wine. Okay, that sounds good. I don't know what time it is there for you. It's only 5:30 in the morning here for us, but hey, wine is good at any time, is what they say. Oh, it's 2:28 there. Okay. Well, hey, 2:28, 5:28. It's all good. It's all the same as long as it gets you where you need to be. Northern California. Nice. Nice, nice. Place I have not been yet is California. Well, there's a lot of places I haven't been, but anything on that coast, I have never been out to the West Coast. Obviously I live close to the East Coast. So farthest I've been is, geez, I don't even know. I'd have to look at a map. I am geographically uneducated. It's one of those things that or geographically ignorant is more like it. Could never stand learning where all the states are and different countries and stuff. I mean, I can hobble my way through a map. I know Canada. I know most of the states and where they are, but traveling all over the place has never been a big interest to me. I'm more of a solitary kindish person. Bob, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. 4:29 there for you too. So you're about an hour behind us. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So this is an interesting day for people today. I noticed a couple of channels are up and early this morning going, but I think I stopped in to say hi, and most of them haven't been to bed since last night, so that's okay. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Not at all. It's just cool seeing people that you don't normally see this early in the morning running alive. So, yep. Oh, northern Minnesota, Bob? Okay. A little bit of a chill in the air this morning, I must say. It was only 52 when I got up. It's 54 right now, so it's not too bad. I will tell you this temperature swings I know that 52, 54 isn't that low, but when you're running 70s during the day, the amount of condensation, moisture, and whatnot that's on my plants is making me very nervous because this is what we went into last year. and ended up having some powdery mildew outside, and eventually one spot with some bud rot, which caused me to pull everything. So I can understand that, Sauce. I can. I think last night I actually woke up almost every hour on the hour and finally just decided to get up. So, yeah, I know. Bud rot is not good. Not at all. But, I don't, again, I've got that. Hey, teen, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate you. Yeah, I have that nervous feeling that I did last year with the potential of PM. That powdery mildew was just a bitch last year. We had a problem with it inside, just in one of my four tents. But, outside, I know that it seems like some of the same environment is being duplicated right now. And yeah, I don't know. It's not like I can sit out there with a big set of heaters and dry my plants off all the time. That just ain't going to work. But Mother Nature's going to do what she wants to do. Oh, did you? Yeah, see, with the exception of my 150, where I've got plants close in that raised bed, it's everything else is freestanding, and I got a lot of space in between them, and there's a ton of air movement. So that's what's really frosting my ass in all of this. That I have done everything within my power to. Well, there's only so much you can do within your power outside, but everything that I could do to make sure that I wasn't going to be the creator of the shit environment for all of this. So, yeah, Sauce, that'd be good. Nobody wants that for anybody. Nobody at all. So, anybody got any cool plans for today? Or is it, I looked at it this way. I figured it would be a work day for people, a picnic day for people, or just a general fuck off, relax, and shut out the world day. You know, I had all my kids over yesterday, so it was nice. So today will just be a chill day. Shopping at Home Depot and work. What are you buying at Depot? Anything cool? I know I was thinking of going and getting some stuff, and then I just put it on the back burner for now since I'm toying with my next setup. Dragon, good morning. Thanks so much for swinging in. Good to see you. Hope you had a great day yesterday and that today's turning out to be something awesome. It's great zipping around into other lives and other channels and seeing you guys there. It's just cool to see how much we're wandering through the community. Hey, Kavort, what's going on? Hamish. Hamish, you got one more day and then you can't say you're new here anymore because you've been plugging right along with us. You're like one of the gang. Heading home to smoke and some coffee. Cool, teen. We'll be on for a while if you wanna if you wanna kick back and step back up into here once you get situated. That'd be awesome. Nice, Dragon. Gardening stuff. A weed drying setup. Nice. Oh, that'd be cool too. Gonna see how much water you can accumulate. Nice. My phone didn't bother to charge last night, so I've got that sitting on a charger over here. And of course, every time it vibrates, because I get a notification, the phone moves a little bit, and I have to make sure it doesn't unplug itself. I think that's the same deal I ran into last night. Zoomed around on my fucking nightstand, and next thing I know, I get up this morning and it's at 40%. So you might be right, hon. Hamish, that's funny. It's funny indeed. Sauce. I've thought about that myself. When we first moved into this house, we've got a big cement pad out front that's about 3 feet off the ground, 4 feet off the ground. And on the one side of it, the people that lived here before had a raised bed in there, but I don't know why. There's no sun, there's no nothing else. So I turned that into a compost area. And the idea is we'll keep funneling to that and then have some nice rich compost for, next summer, which would be fantastic because that's where we put all our leftover cocoa and any soil or whatever, root balls, that stuff all goes into there. I've got coffee grounds in there from my son's a barista somewhere, and I was able to get coffee grounds from him to help him in. So that's kind of nice. Just trying to build myself a soil right now. And make sure I'm not missing anybody coming into here. Yeah, I understand that. There's that rule of don't bring the indoor or the outdoors inside. And I've done it before, and I have suffered the consequences of having to unleash 3,500 ladybugs into my indoor grow to attack an aphid problem. Now, don't get me wrong, these ladybugs didn't attack my house. It was really cool what they did in the tents, but I'll tell you, 3,500 ladybugs really is kind of a lot. But again, they took care of my PM problem. I had a lot of people ridicule me over that. They were like, "Oh, you should have just done something different." And it's like what? Spray? I'm not going to spray with, neem oil or whatever, or some of that crap. I want to be able to smoke what I've grown and not have to worry about it. Nice, Scotty. Nice. Today is your Friday. That's good. That is good indeed. Thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button. It's a beautiful thing. I guess it helps with the amazing YouTube algorithm, but I'm not too yeah, that's true. It's true, Sauce. Yeah, Teen, that's YouTube being dicks to us. We can sub up to people and they get unsubbed and stuff like that. It's disenchanting, but maybe if we keep humping on them and grinding on them, maybe someday things will get a little bit easier for us. But I don't think so at the moment. You know what? Let me tell you, Dragon. This is what's nice is you guys can all come in here and we can talk about this stuff. We can support you, we can help you, we can just be an ear to listen to. And a lot of times I think that's what we need. I know there are days that I wander through the channels and it's difficult sometimes to be able to strike up good conversations because, you know, depending on what you're looking for content wise as you wander around on here, so it's different. I try to like the way I've seen or model my lives after the way I've seen other people do it. And I think my kids were ready to choke me yesterday because I was in somebody's live and they weren't engaging with the chat. And I don't know why that drives me so crazy, but you guys take all the time and effort to come here, hang out, chat with one another. The least the content creator could do is acknowledge everybody that's coming in and out of the room. Speaking of which, Vince, I saw you sneak in. Don't think I didn't. I was just on a little bit of a rant, and my stoner ass loses his train of thought a lot. I am thinking of going live with other people. I have to figure out how to bring people up on here. It's just something I haven't done yet. And I do lives on some other people's channels who have asked me to come up here and there and be on a panel. And I absolutely love that. Again, the only thing I ran into with it is, having one person up on your live with you is pretty cool. I think if you're just doing a 100% complete sesh session where everybody's just smoking and there's minimal conversations going on, then I can see having multiple people up on a panel. But you get 6 people up there, and unless somebody's running it, you end up with everybody talking over one another, and a lot of stuff gets missed. Let me see what I got going on here. Defoliate something. I did a lot of defoliation yesterday. You guys will see that in my next video that I put out. Kind of makes things look vastly different, but I'm okay with it. Trying to get from point A to point B. Yeah, I think you can add some on YouTube also. The big thing that I don't know is I think you have to send a link, and I don't know. I can talk to some other people about that. They're pretty good about explaining things to me in a way that I can understand it. Not that I'm an imbecile, but some of this tech stuff is just a little different for me. I just saw somebody come in. Mia, what's going on, Mia? Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you on this beautiful Labor Day morning. Let's take a look here and see what's going on. So, just for anybody new in here that doesn't know, this channel is for 18 years or older. We are a drama-free channel. And we appreciate everybody that's in here. Keep the chats nice and going. Welcome people as they come in. And most of all, while you're in here, have a good time. Yeah, that's true, Sauce. Oh, you did some topping, Cavort? Nice. Nice, teen. You good on subs for your channel? You got enough? I'll be honest. I look at a lot of channels during the day, and let's see here. Yeah, I go to a lot of channels a day, and I can't remember everybody's sub count, but needless to say, if you are, just keep on coming back. We get lots of new people here all the time. And again, you guys got wrenches, so it's nice. You can check out people's channels, sub up to them during the lives and all of that. At least I know I can on my PC. I don't know if it's that easy to do on your phone at the time, because I have not done a live from my phone yet. That's coming up in the future. I don't know how great the resolution will be, though. I think my phone cam is way better than my webcam that I currently have. So, and that'll be neat because I'd be able to go outside and show off my grow too, or go into the tents. So, I'm doing great, Mia. Absolutely fantastic. Oh yeah, Cavort, no mail today, which means no seeds. I've got I got a package coming from Scotty 420, and it's going to be here tomorrow. And I had to tell you, big smile on my face over that. Big smile. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. The big thing here is I've got a huge field across my street, and like on the other side of the road, and the field blows all this wind that comes across, hits my garage, and turns into like a funnel behind it. And that would be my best location to have a greenhouse. I'm concerned that unless I anchor it to the ground, and I haven't thought that through yet, how I would even go about that, other than I know there's stakes. I know I could put some sort of substructure in the 4 corners, to turn around and be able to anchor it to. But I'm concerned the damn thing's just going to blow away. So, JC, what's going on? Thanks for swinging in. Appreciate you. How is your glorious Labor Day morning going? Thank you, Scotty. I got a package that's going to be coming to you too. It's just a little on the heavier side, so thank you again, people. 9 people in the chat, 9 likes. You guys are fantastic. Monkey Man, good morning. You're up early. What's going on? Hopefully, you're having a great day and your ladies are doing fantastic. I haven't swung by your page lately, Monkey. Do you have pictures of the ladies up on there? I don't know why I'm asking you. I can just do a quick click here and go take a look myself. I forget that I won't blow myself out of my channel. Nice. Oh, that's nice, Sauce. I decided that I'm going to take at least one, if not 2 plants for making concentrates out of the dozen that I have outside. And I think that's going to be a great plan for me. Not that I don't mind buying concentrates, but there's a lot of fun in running the press, making your own. And as you guys said, that'd be something you might be interested in seeing on one of my lives. So I don't see any reason at all why we can't do that one morning after harvest and things are dry. It'll be a while, obviously, because as you know, we're not pulling until like end of September is our plan at the moment. Scotty, that's funny. Monkey Man. I'm still up, just got home from work and doing an update pitch today. All right, cool. Cool, Monkey. Yeah, we generally get cracked with our first frost. It can be as early as first week in October. I know, as I said last year, it was an issue with bud rot outside. I found bud rot on one bud and I pulled all my plants. Like a panic ass, but I figured I didn't want it to spread. And I knew that that was the next national progression of it. Ain't no business like monkey business. Oh, you got raspberry kush and late flower? Nice. I'm sitting here gabbing a lot this morning. We've been on for almost 20 minutes and there has been no ripping yet. So I am thinking we should be situated for our morning rip. I can give you guys a minute or two to load up whatever you have. If you're going to be hitting a dab, hitting the bong, smoking a J, but we'll do that in a minute or two once I know you guys are situated. I figure some of you are going to bed, some of you are getting up. What a better way to start or end your day. Really trying to make sure I'm not missing anybody in the chat here. So 2 of your plants will go late October, early November. Yeah. I mean, I wish we had a growing season like that. That would be nice. You choose from my venom. Funky Pine, Sunshine 4, Jelly Mints. That's a tough one. That is a tough one, but Funky Pine. Let's do Funky Pine. That sounds good. All righty, people. Cheers. Let's go. pure OG, 3 or 4 weeks away from my first finish in the photo period. That's awesome, Sauce. Wow, that was lame. I got to relight. Nice. I remember when I ran my first photos, I had no idea what to expect. I'd ran autos for a couple of runs. And boy, what a difference that was, when you're not, educated on the differences and the more forgivingness of the photos, because obviously, as we all know, autos are going to run and do whatever they want. I mean, yes, you can train them and you can top them and you can do things like that. But really, at the end of the day, they're much less forgiving, I think, than the photos. That is pretty crazy. But, I think there's so many different factors, especially when you've got plants outdoors. I've got a sunset sherbet, blue sunset sherbet that somebody gave me as a clone, and I put that out. That's the one that I have scrogged for my summer run, and it's a little behind everything else. But I don't know if that's because I've stretched it out so much. I mean, there are so many sites on the top of it, like 100. It's a lot. I know I counted at one point in time, and there was 150, but some of the some of the top cola sites and like that, are about this tall now above the scrog frame. And that's because my frame's too small. I know that at the end of the day. It was only 6 foot by 4 foot. And apparently my plant wanted to grow bigger than that. So now I'm just counting the sites that are about 7 to 8 inches off the top of the net. But it's still going to be a super yielder. It's just running a little bit behind. Let's see. No AC last night. Now, was it no AC because you didn't need it? Because the temperatures were nice? I hope so. I hope that's the reason why. Banana Punch, Northern Lights went into flower earlier, no complaints. That happens, teen. It does. Oh, it was freezing there. Nice, Dragon. Can we time Mia out? I actually will. Thank you, JC. Well, that's interesting. Interesting indeed. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Make sure you're all subbed up to each other's channels. Greatly appreciated. And thank you again, Scotty, for that last one, and JC. I guess that's going to be a segue to something that I ran into last night. I happened to be in somebody else's, they were streaming live. And I don't know. I appreciate you guys for just dooming that person out of here. We don't need to engage. We don't need to do anything like that. Just shoot these people out of here. You're right, Scotty. Someone's mom didn't love them. It's why I'm careful. It seems like everybody in here is modded up, but they aren't. We do get people in here that don't get modded up, people that I don't recognize, that, we don't recognize. See, that's just it. I checked Mia's page and saw that they just made or created a channel yesterday. So the likelihood of them being a troll, I thought, was pretty good, but I figured I'd give them an opportunity, and they showed their true colors. So that's okay. That's all right. So us, as more mature, I use that word lightly, more mature people than them, we can just forge on. So again, thank you, everybody. So yeah, I went into somebody's live. I wasn't up on it. I was just in the chat, and the engagement with the troll blew me away. And I don't know why we have to do that. I don't know why we can't be the better people. You're 10 away? Hamish, you go to other people's lives, don't you, and chats and get involved? Because that's going to help you out too. Really is. Like I say, go to a page, someone that you're interested in, subscribe if you want to subscribe. But when you're subscribing, make sure you drop a comment. Comment and a like on the video. For one, it's going to make their day. For two, it lets them know you were probably the last sub that they just got, that they're showing, that their sub count is going up. So again, let's all just do the right thing. Are you going to have another channel, Cavort, coming in the future? Now, what kind of content are you planning to have on there? I think content is key. You are right, Sauce. Oh, on bow hunting? Nice. It's nice. My father was a very big hunter. Hunting for anything and everything, bow, muzzleloader, shotgun, rifle, you name it, out doing all of that. So, of course, he wanted me to go along with him. Frank, what's going on? Good morning, dude. And, yeah, I bought all the stuff and then never went out, sold it all. Okay, teen, we'll see you in a little bit. Sauce, you hunted pheasant and fowl. Nice. Nice. I will tell you, I do like wild turkey. I don't know. I'm not talking about the alcohol wild turkey, though I was a fan of that when I drank. So I can't say I wasn't, but I do enjoy wild turkey. I think it's pretty good. Doesn't have that gamey taste to it, as bad. And yeah. Yep. It's pretty good. Nice. I try and drop a thank you, bro. You are a true one. Oh, you fish, Sauce? Now, you do lake fishing, stream fishing, ocean. Bye, Mrs. Wig. I love you. Bye. Sorry about that. Mrs. Wig's heading out the door to work. But she gets double time for it, so that's a beautiful thing. That's the important thing, Frank. You had a good time. You don't have to catch all the fish and all that good stuff. Hamish, you do kangaroo hunting. Are you busting my balls? You probably aren't. All right, that's cool then. That's really cool. I did not know that you could hunt them. To tell you the truth, I just didn't know that was a thing. You know what else I've heard about kangaroos? I've heard they're assholes. I've watched them beat up dogs and stuff like that. Alligator is good eating, Scotty. That it is. Being all the way here in upstate New York, we have a local restaurant that really went above and beyond with their menu. They recently opened, and one of the things that they have on there are alligator bites. And they're like, oh, we have 2 dipping sauces. And I'm like, we don't even need the sauce. They're so good. So I don't know if you guys have ever tried it, but if you do, I think you're going to like it. You know, I would try it, JC. I would try it. I can't say I wouldn't. I'll tell you one thing I won't try, only because my brother's eating it, and that's camel. He said that is one of the most rudest animals to eat. See, Scotty's down with the canned rattlesnake, too. You know, I have cooked them before, but I haven't eaten them. The Rocky Mountain oysters. Just not a fan of it's a texture and consistency thing for me. You know, I was an executive chef for 23 years and worked with a lot of different foods. However, there's a lot of them that I can cook great, but I'll never eat. Scotty, any snake is good eating. Ah, you know, really, at the end of the day, I have not had like fried rattlesnake or, things along those lines. You know, I have eaten, again, a lot of weird and bizarre stuff. A lot of wild game. I think on the 20th of this month, I'm doing a some wild game demonstrations at a ladies' day for one of the hunting clubs that my father's involved in. Oh, no kidding. So you have to, so even though they're a nuisance, you still have to have permits and all that stuff. That's probably a good idea. You guys are great. I love these conversations. You know, even though we are in the cannabis community, we are having real life conversations, and it's pretty damn funny. And I appreciate it. Oh, that'd be nice, Core. That'd be real nice. Now, do you hunt to supplement your food supply for the year? I know people that do. I've got a cousin of mine who he hunts and traps and fishes, and that's pretty much how they get all the protein for their whole year. You know, so it's kind of neat. He always fills his deer tags, goes bear hunting, traps all sorts of stuff. I'm going to guess that that's going to wind down some because I think he's a year older than me. Oh, you're trying to get a new strain going, Sauce? Nice. Nice. Oh, that's cool, Kavor. Raccoon can be very greasy. Very, very. You've got 7 tags to fill this year. My dad gets his normal one. And then in New York, if you own 50 acres or more, you can get an additional permit for your land. And then I don't know, there's something else because he's 80 something that I don't know, they throw an extra tag at him. He's not going to fill it. He hasn't gone out in 3 years. So, but he gets excited that he gets all of the, that he gets all that stuff. And he's not the kind of guy that lets other people fill his tags either. So, my sister wanted me to get chickens because she's like, "Oh, you got a big barn. You can have the chickens in there. They're great." I said, "Yep, until winter comes because last year we got 4 feet in 3 days. You know, how am I going to manage chickens in that when my barn's, I don't know, 75 yards from my house or something like that?" So, oh, it's nice, Frank. You know, that is having the wildlife all come creeping up into your yard. And I got to tell you, too, uh, though I don't get a lot of deer, we have a lot of, more nuisance ground type animals. I don't know what their deal is, but they'll come up, they'll look at my plants, they'll eat stuff out of the bird feeders, and then they leave. And it's great. You know, they assist with my PM also in a roundabout manner, I'm sure. Want to go to a real farm? Go to Anna Creek Station. Oh, really, JC? I'd love to go to Alaska. I really would. When I was in high school, that was one of my goals, was to live in Alaska, but it didn't pan out. And I don't think at my age I'm going to sell off everything and drag the wife to Alaska. I don't think she'd be thrilled with me. All right, you wrote armadillos, and it's just funny. That's all. You know, I like armadillos. I think they're pretty cool looking creatures, but, you know, we don't obviously have them here in upstate New York. We got the possums, raccoons, and skunks. Jess, thanks for being here. Appreciating you. Glad you could get in and hang out with us. What is this? Anna Creek Station in South Australia. Wow. That's crazy, Amish. So, okay, Frank, have you eaten armadillo? I mean, not saying that you picked it up off the side of the road, but, you know, just curious. What do we got for time here? About 10 after? I have heard that, JC, but it probably doesn't stop people from eating it or eating them. Grab it. What's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Greatly appreciated. We are talking about a little bit of hunting, a little bit of harvesting of animals, and eating some peculiarly unique things. Little rattlesnake, a little raccoon, a little deer, a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, all right, Jess, you rolling up one for the next smoke? Frank, too? Good. I was just looking at the time. I think that's important that we get to that next point in our highness. So, while you guys are doing that, give me 1 minute. I want to pack up another bowl. I wasn't paying attention. Was not paying attention. See what we got going on here right now. Da 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 da. This morning we are going with some strawberry kush. Sal. Thanks for swinging in. Appreciate you. You purchased a jar of scorpions, Jess, and ate them. All right. How are they? Are they crunchy? And do they pickle them or something like that? I'd be curious to know. Be curious to know. Tastes like peanuts. Okay. You know, I've had crickets. I have had chocolate covered ants. When I was little growing up, we had a candy store that made all sorts of homemade shit. And they were like way before their time in doing stuff. But yeah, they had they do crickets, they do mealworms, they do all sorts of stuff like that. And I said, this was when I was little, so we're talking the 70s, early 70s. Yeah, insects are a great form of protein. All right, I'm packed up, everybody. Everybody else ready to go with this? Yeah, I'm sure, JC. Cheers, everybody. Well, excuse me. Now I'm going to cough because nobody reminded me to hydrate. JC, you were supposed to remind me of that. Yeah, no kidding, Cavort. Right, Sauce. Right. That's what I'm fearful of, that we're going to get all the rain again. Yeah, I know, Frank. I got it. I got my water right here. I already finished off my first bottle. Well, there's a sip left in it. Very true, Sauce. Very true. What you doing, Odie? Why don't you lay down, buddy? It's my 1,000-year-old dog in the background. I don't know if you can see him right here over my shoulder. Right there. He's doing his circles in the Papazon chair, trying to get himself a little comfortable this morning. Yeah, Scotty, that's what my daughter said. You know, she's still adjusting to being back here after spending 2+ years out in Colorado. And yeah, yep, she is still adjusting. She's been back for, I don't know, in about a week, a week or two, it'll be a month that she's been back, but she's doing good. Have to recommend to me 6:11 in the morning. You're right. You're right. I probably don't have to do these as early as I do, but I know that I do catch a couple of people first thing that like to swing by, and they're like, it's either the end of their night or the beginning of their day. So again, I appreciate you guys just for coming in here and hanging out. Sorry, catching up in the chat. 1,000 years old. I didn't know that, Grab It. I did not know that. That Arizona depends on Colorado water. Sleep can be a real struggle, and not just for everybody else in the world, but as we know, there are a lot of us here who, how do I phrase this so I don't offend anybody? Because some people get butthurt when I say it, but you know, our cannabis is our medicine. Do we use it to self-medicate at times? Absolutely, because we don't want to deal with all the bullshit side effects of the medications that Big Pharma generally wants to push on us. So that's the end of my rant on that, which was just a small one. But is that Cavs I see in the house? Good morning, Cavs. Hope you're having a super freaking Labor Day. And, if you have to work, you do. And hopefully, it won't be too bad of a day. And if not, I hope you either do some family stuff or you get to have a fantastic day for yourself. Yeah, Frank, that's one of the problems too. We get something really strong to take to sleep, and then it stops working. And then what do we do? Do they give us something different on top of it? I know, Cavs. I know. There's no rest for the wicked, they say. Green, what's going on? Huh. Let's get you modded up in here. I just saw you sneak in. So I don't know if you've been in before, Green. I don't think so, but long and short of it is we're a drama-free channel. As a moderator, welcome everybody new that comes into the room. We want everybody to feel inclusive, unlike probably some of us did in the beginning of our YouTube journey, And if we have trolls like we did earlier, let's just gently escort them to the door. And last thing, please have a lot of fun. That's what we're in here to do. We talk about pretty much anything and everything, and we have a great time. So absolutely. Welcome, welcome. I think that's true for all of us, Cavs. And that's okay. That's a way to do it. We got a lot of giving people in this community, and they really believe strongly in what we're doing, and I appreciate them more than you could imagine. Yeah, I understand that, Frank. I think I'm coming up on 25 years of being on medications for mental health issues or whatever the case may be, mostly for mental health issues, which is a far cry from like the 10 I was on 10 years ago. I've managed to get down to 5. So at the moment, I'll be content with that. No, it's 4 because I take a multivitamin also, and I don't count that. We are creating oxygen. That we are. Going on 6 years clean, no pills, no dope, no Tylenol, no alcohol, no meth, no nothing but weed. There you go, Scotty. There you go. And congratulations on all of that. That is fucking monumental. Ooh, the Thorazine Shuffle. I haven't heard that in a long time. I don't mean to laugh about it because I know people who have been on Thorazine, but holy crap. Wow, JC, 17 years, natural medicine. That's awesome. That is really, really awesome. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right, Sauce. And just think of all the people that it helps. You know, I mean, and I say that even if you're just growing for yourself, you're all the people. And that makes a huge difference in the world. Oh, wow, Hamish. Yeah, the cicadas were quiet up here this year. Now, the crickets and the peepers outside at night were unreal. Stopped taking it 20 years ago. Yeah, the summer cicadas, they're noisy there. I don't mind it. It used to, when I was little, we used to say the power lines were buzzing because that's what it sounded like, because you just have masses of them. You're glad you missed the cicadas? I take it you're not a fan. They are pretty fucking devastating when they get down and start. I don't know. We had the big push here 2 years ago that I don't know, the 7 year, 9 year, 13-year cicadas all came out, and they'd cover your whole driveway. They'd be on your cars. They'd get in your hair if you had hair. I didn't have to fucking worry about that one. Yeah, JC, the 17-year cicadas. Oh, nice, Frank. I would watch that. If I had a pet bird, I would feed it a cicada and see exactly how they like that. It's like when I had my big 22-inch Oscar fish. I had 3 of them in I don't know, it might have been a 100-gallon tank or a 50 or something like that. They were content in there. But I used to buy them 150 goldfish a week or 100 so that they could eat. And but they would eat anything that you threw in there. Okay, calves, let's see how many people are going to start doing that. I actually have had birds as a pet before, and it's not really that thrilling. They don't do much, but I have flocks of birds that come to my yard and which I feed, and hold on a second. Which I feed, and they take care of a lot of the PM on my plants. Too bad they don't eat fucking powdery mildew. Crumble, what type of medicine would you prefer? You are correct. You are correct. You know, yeah, what type of medicine would I prefer? I would prefer to just have cannabis all the time. Got me through 2 years of an issue with my hip during COVID where I had to wait for surgery and ended up having vascular necrosis. The whole top of my femur looked like a wiffle ball. There was nothing left of it structurally. And without cannabis, I don't know what I would have done because I stopped narcotics in 2009, so You know, I had not, Cavs. I get it though. I just had not heard of it. And honestly, it struck me a little humorous at the beginning because never really thought of it. Huh. Old cool stuff, but it's okay. If it's proven by science, then, and not even that. I've done a lot of things that haven't been proven by science. I think we all have. But when science backs something up, that is pretty cool. Cannabis is the only medicine for pain relief, yeah, for anything surgical, for other assistance. Right, Dragon. You back, teen? Cool. Cool, cool, cool. JC, I've got one of those bird feeders that has a webcam built into it, and my sister bought me one for hummingbirds. I will try and grab some of the vids off from it and start throwing either shorts up or, make some little montage of a bunch of them. But damn, they're pretty cool. They're really cool to watch. Cavs, I'm going to try it too. And I'm most certain that you're going to be correct on this. Okay, for me, when we're looking at it that way, my pain is in a good place now. It really is. It would be for mental health that I'd be mostly looking for me personally. Make a short video, use for recycled dab. Cool, Cavort. Sauce, you're not going to do living soil. See, that's something that I'm looking to move over to right now. And I know that the opportunity for pests in a roundabout manner is a little bit higher. I don't know if that's going to make a difference as much. My biggest thing that I ever had indoor was soil when I took the guy's plants in to finish them for him was fungus gnats. And they were a pain in the ass. But once I went to bottom feeding those, I didn't have that issue anymore. Okay, Cavs. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's funny, JC. Leg cramps at night. Huh. Yeah, that would be tremendous for my wife. She takes those leg cramp pills and whatnot, and goddamn, when her legs get going to bed, she kicks the absolute shit out of me at night. Green fairy, we're glad you're here. I hope I haven't missed anybody in the chat. We got 17 people in here and we got 20 likes. And again, I'm hoping that I have not snubbed anybody as they've came in or out of the room. You know, I'm thinking, people. Thinking it's time for another rip. You know, that's the thing that you can do also. See, I'm lucky I've got the two 4x4s and the two 2x2s. So I can dedicate either one tent to living soil, because again, I'm running cocoa on everything else. And yeah, yeah. So I definitely have, and I have the 2x2s also, so I can turn around and just do, single plants in those. So we'll see. Yeah, absolutely. We pack this up and we will rip again. That we will. Nice monkey. Nice. Indoor for me, yes. Yep. Just because once the temperatures start to drop here, I can't do shit outdoors. I forgot about that, Frank, that you got a friend that owns a THCA company. Nice, Scotty. Okay, it's 10-week flower time. Cool. Thank you for letting me know. There is I think sometimes here, let's rip first and let me write this down so I remember what I'm talking about. Hopefully. All right, let's rip, people. Holy smokes, JC, when did that happen? Yeah, I know, Sauce. My plants get big too, but I really am going to try to manage things more appropriately in my tent from a personal standpoint. Wow, JC. Wow, wow. Sorry to hear that. That had to be super traumatizing. I like to see a green method, Cabs. Well, you could just take a bedroom in your house and see if I don't know. I know a lot of people that have done that, just convert over an entire bedroom in their house. Running lights 24. Okay, so let me just say, Cabs, I have done that before. I have. And I remember talking about it in a live and someone shit all over me, which was fine. They were like, that's the absolute not way to do it. And I had good results. I really did. I did it from a space standpoint when I did it. But they weren't the smallest plants in the world. They still grew and they still stretched. Brett, there you are, Brett. Thanks for swinging in. I appreciate you, sir. Glad you were able to catch this. Okay, Hamish. We'll be around. Probably going to run this till about 7:30. I think we've been on for about an hour or so. And we'll see what's going on. We'll see who's wandering around in this glorious world of YouTube this morning. Asia, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Let's take a quick look here. Da 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 da. Sorry, just catching up here. I have seen that too, Cavs. I know that, you know, one of the things that I don't think people step back and realize at times is that growing the monster plants is fine. But sometimes at the end of the day, time, effort, aggravation, energy on a plant that takes up a whole entire 4x4. But when you stripped it all the way down, you can see that what you've really got are maybe 10 colas and some budding on the side. You're not pulling the gigantic 1 pound, 2 pound harvests off from your indoor plants on a consistent basis. I don't think, you know, at least that's what I have seen. So when you're flipping them to flowering, you're keeping your plant smaller. This is all in my opinion, and everybody on here can correct me on it. But, you know, you are dumping the biggest amount of, you know, your nutrients and providing most of the energy to the actual part of the plant that's going to yield for us the, you know, nicest buds with the best terp profile and all of that. And all your energy isn't wasted on, you know, things that are just going to be larf or are never going to come to fruition. Good morning, son of Odin. Thanks for swinging in. Appreciate you. Gorilla Glue is the easiest for you? So was that an answer to Frank's question as to what was the easiest strain to grow calves that you said Afghani? Just interesting. I know this is pretty great, isn't it, Monkey Man? Being able to hang out here. We got a nice group of people in here as usual. I've got some cuts of Blue Dream coming from Good Quality Cannabis is sending me some clones of that. Second easiest is Moby Dick. Right, Sauce. That is one of the things. That's kind of why I try to go with my tents, because then I can have a perpetual harvest. I just have to dial in my timing a little better, but you know, that way that's what I can do. Wow, 56 days of flower time? That's it? Wow. Alrighty, Green. I will see you later. Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate you. Appreciate you a great deal. Yeah, GQ is. GQ is indeed. You know, that's really cool to hear that the Blue Dream is that you know, that stable of a genetic, I guess, in a roundabout manner, and that easy to work with. Afghanistan land race, very hardy plant. Oh, that's not bad, son of Odin. Yes, that's, you know, Token Tom. I don't know if you guys go to Token Tom's page. He usually does bong hits for breakfast in the morning. Great channel to go to. He's a great guy. Uh, he was talking about the fact that he's got his grow tent and he's running tomatoes in it right now. God damn, those are some of the best tomatoes I've seen in a long time. Yeah, Frank, he is. You know, I wish I still lived in the apartment in a roundabout manner. We had the front half of a house, but we had the big cathedral ceilings in there. God damn, I could have grown plants in that room like Christmas trees. Would have been freaking brilliant. Yeah, you've been doing it for 25 years. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever grown heirloom tomatoes? No, I had a guy that I used to be friends with, and he had an acquaintance of his. We called him the Sword Cane Man, and he brought back so many seeds from when he was in Vietnam that he kept them locked in a safe in his house. And I don't know, from what I heard, the stuff that this guy brought back was phenomenal. Ha ha! Grow weed, buy tomatoes. Nice, Frank. Nice. Beefsteaks are a good tomato. Good beefsteak, yeah. Hey, you never know until you try to pop those seeds. I got to tell you this. Here's a question that I can throw out to all of you guys. So I told you about that guy that gave me the big branch of one of his cannabis plants, and it had like 300 seeds on it. Well, I took care of these seeds, got them all situated the way everybody recommended to, and I decided to pop some of them with the run that I've got in my seedling tent. Let me tell you, these came up the absolute strongest out of everything. Is that common? And I'm also guessing that there's a higher chance they could be males, but still the same. I can't believe the vigorous growth and the stems on them already. So I guess that's my question. Is that common when you're taking just seeds off from a plant and planting them that they're going to come up so robust? Silence, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Sorry, trying to catch up with you guys. Guppies from Vietnam, Scotty. Oh, sun-dried tomatoes are good, Sauce. Nothing wrong with those. Working on a seed increase of rotten peaches, ninja fruit, and deep chunk Gary Payton. So when you say a seed increase, hey, Grizzly, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. Nice. Nice, nice. Again, we're sitting here at 6:38 on Labor Day. We got 19 people in the room. We got 23 likes, and we're having a great day. Absolutely. So, what do we got here? So you're working on a seed increase. So you're trying to make the plant produce even more seeds than it normally does. I guess that's my question. My peaches grew this year. It's sweet. Huh. That's different. Oh, that's wild. That's wild, Sauce. Well, we got some new people in the room that probably came in to chat and maybe smoke a little bit. I made a composter before, one of those 50-gallon barrel ones where you put it on its side with a pole through the middle of it and a handle on it, and you throw all your shit in and compost it around. It worked pretty cool. I enjoyed it. The drum I had was nice because it was a 55-gallon plastic drum. So it worked out pretty good, but that was a long time ago. Right now, I've just got a compost pile outside that I'm thinking I will eventually frame in a way so I can keep everything contained. That's all. Alrighty, guys. Since people are new into here or just came into the chat, I think we should fire one up for all of them. Alrighty, people. Cheers. Jimmy John. Hey, I loved, excuse me a second, I loved your live yesterday. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know. Go ahead, people. Remind me. Monkey Man, thank you. Thank you a lot. I appreciate that. No, Jimmy John, it was great. It was great indeed. I love hanging out in you guys' lives and whatnot. It's just cool. For one, I get to put a face with the name, and that's one of the big things. I like that, you know? And it's amazing to go into somebody else's life and see their panel and realize, oh my God, 3/4 of the people on their panel know this person also. You know, it's great. It is great indeed. Nice sauce. That's great. That is super great. Super, super great. Oh, I got a question too that maybe you guys can help me with. Celebrated Cavs and is working. Yeah, absolutely, Jimmy John. I saw that. I saw that. That's cool. Cool indeed. Yeah, I am. So that was, you guys are talking about giveaways. So I had said that I was going to do a giveaway when I hit 420. This is what I'm running into with a dilemma. I've seen some people use those random generators where, you know, I pick a word and everybody does hashtag in that word and then it randomly picks somebody as a winner. Does anybody know how I can do that on YouTube, or do I have to do StreamYards or something? Or if there's a way to just, I don't know. I don't know how that works. Or if that's even the best way to go. Grizzly Warrior, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I didn't see you sneak in. I'm kind of rambling here and there. StreamYard has that, Jimmy John, not YouTube. Okay. Nice. Rabbit, what is going on? Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. This is nice. We're seeing people that we didn't see yesterday. So we got new people in here. So please make sure you're subbed up to one another. Excuse me. Don't want to lose my voice again like I did yesterday. I finished up my live and had to go out with the wife to do a few things. And hey, DT, good morning. Thanks for swinging in. Let me get you squared away here. Got to get you modded up. There we are. All righty. I have to give my quick mod lecture. Drama free channel. Welcome everybody that comes in because we want them to feel like we want them here because we absolutely do, so we can grow this community. And if we have any trolls, let's escort them to the door like we did earlier today. And most of all, if you're in here, let's have a lot of fun. We'll smoke, we'll chat about all sorts of different stuff, and yeah, we'll just have a great day. So I hope everybody is having a good Labor Day, and if they have plans or are working today, if you're working today, I hope you get double time. Shit, you should get triple time. And I was thinking about when I was little growing up and we had blue laws. For anybody here who's old enough to remember blue laws, you know, they were prevalent on holidays and on Sundays. Sundays, everything was closed. Grocery stores, liquor stores, you know, bars were the hours that they could be open or closed were all regulated. So, yeah, it's just a different time. So I'm very adamant about when there are holidays that people should be compensated very well for them. JC, you making breakfast? Scotty, I know you got to work, but again, you told me you get free food. So that's something. Hopefully it's not armadillo, roadkill, or something like that. Oh, okay, Frank. Yeah, my sister said that down there, that she's in Alabama. And she said, holy shit, is it a different world than up here? Rabbit. You're smoking on lemon gelato, high society, mixed drinking homemade strawberry lemonade moonshine. Let's go. Let us go. Hey, Maine, what's going on? Thanks for swinging in. Appreciate you. Let's go ahead and get you modded up into here. Boop. There we go. This way you guys can sub up to one another, check out each other's channels, and help out with moderating the channel, which was nice because, as I said, we had a brief problem earlier, and you guys all hopped right on top of it, and we just moved on with our day. What do you got going on today, man? You going live later or anything? Nice. Oh, that's cool, son of Odin. That is awesome. Thanks for dropping that into here. That is super cool. Make sure everybody heads over to that link. That is fantastic. Sean, what's going on? So good to see you in here. Yes, you're going to take a trip to outer space, Rabbit? I got some shrooms here, but I have to be good today. No, I don't really. I can pretty much dick off and do what I want because nobody's here. So it'll be garden time, get high, check out channels, find lives, figure out what we're going to talk about tomorrow morning. And yeah, we'll go from there. Hood Billy, what's going on? Thanks for swinging in. I appreciate you. We are just in here having a heck of a lot of fun this morning, talking about a lot of different stuff. And yeah, we're trying to be a drama-free channel here, but very inclusive of everybody who comes in because we want to help grow this community in a positive way. Trop Cherries is fire. Nice, Sean. Is that something that you're reviewing, or is this just something that you got on the side? I got to try that mushroom tea and lemonade because I was talking about it to somebody else yesterday, and they're like, absolutely, that's the way to go. So that's what I thought, Sean. I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch the review yet. It's came up on my front page, though, 3 or 4 times. So that's really nice. I hope you are getting a lot of likes and a lot of views, because I know it's a very important part of our community is people who are actually out there reviewing the products, people like you, me, and like that. We're not watching it from like dope as YOLO or something, so we're giving a much more honest and better review, and I think that's solid for the community. You're right, Monkey Man, we do. We are the best community. I think we're the thickest skin community because look at us. All we do is get shit on by YouTube, and if we're not getting shit on by YouTube, it's coming from the federal government. So that's my political rant for the moment. What you're after? Quarter of a gram tea is good to start. Yeah. Sauce, you eat your shrooms straight up with cognac or whiskey. Okay, I can see that. I would probably do the cognac. I think I would want that little bit of a sweeter tinge to help the medicine go down, as they say. I just realized I keep on leaning in on my cam, so I've been making you guys all look at the top of my head. Sorry if I blinded anybody. Don't eat a gummy when you have the munchies. Yeah, you just sit there and plow through the pack of them. Time for a cone? Absolutely, Moonlit. Absolutely. Here we are. It's time to rip again. Nice. All righty, let's go, people. Cheers, cheers, cheers. You're right, DT. It is. It is indeed. I got to step up, get rid of all this. Just go to the goatee, I think. Maybe get rid of what's hanging on the sides. Very true, Moonlit. Very true. Yes, Maine. Yes, we are. It's my soda this morning. Hey, we appreciate you being here, teen. We do have a great group of people in here. Yakavort, keep the goatee. Holy shit, sauce. I guess so. Hey, make sure, excuse me, I know you guys are subbing up to everybody. DT goes live. He's got a great channel over there. Swing by, check him out. As you know, Dragon's pretty awesome into here. He's got a good channel up there. We've seen him popping around on some lives, his own and other people's. Just met him a handful of days ago, and him and Jack are a couple awesome guys helping to fight the fight in another country, which is interesting, getting educated on all of their, their laws, their rules, the regulations, and knowing that the struggle is real. And we were all like that pre-prohibition land. So, during all of that. So it's interesting that we take for granted a number of the things that we can do as a united community. You hear the birds chirping, JC. Oh, that's right. You posted a picture or a vid of that yesterday, I think. Absolutely. You know who else we got to do a shout out to? Cabs, lower class booth. It's all over the place and doing so much for the community, along with Scotty 420. I think it's awesome that they've taken interest in my channel and stopping into our lives and helping everybody out. It's fantastic. Yeah, Hood Billy. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad indeed. I was talking about how a few days ago or a few weeks ago, one of my videos got way more views, double to triple what I normally get. And I got excited for about half a minute and then realized that it was probably a YouTube mistake that I ended up on a page where I shouldn't have been, because I was a cannabis content creator. All righty, Dragon. Sorry, I'm reading and catching up with the chat again. I was just rambling and wasn't reading any of it. 28 grams of mushrooms. You will shit yourself. Absolutely. It'd probably end up in your socks right down the pant leg. Hey, all righty, teen. You have a good one. Thanks for coming in. We'll be back tomorrow and also Wednesday. I'm going to do these now Sunday through Wednesday. Going to try and be on by 5:30, and we'll run these till 7:30 for anybody who wants to hang out. Holy crap, we got 26 people in here right now and 30 likes. You guys are rock stars. Absolute rock stars. Scotty's an alien. I know, but what great people to have here representing our community. and then treating everybody with respect, which I love it that we do. You know, we try not to, I say try not to, but it's not. We don't go into people's grows or whatever and bust their balls and demean them and whatever else. We cultivate. We grow cannabis and we try to grow people that come in here as a community. All right, see you later, teen. My daughter says it's like where you are, but not we are yet. Huh. Yeah, that's true. The light is creeping in. Hopefully, it won't come up like yesterday. Yesterday, man, I felt like when I watched when I watched the replay of the live, man, I thought God had came in and was sitting on my shoulder. It was so bright. I wish you guys had said something. Hey, that is true, DT. That is true. Oh, I'm sure. I was thinking about it the other day, son of Odin, and just I'm only X number of years in. I haven't purchased a lot of genetics, and but I still have 300 to 400 seeds, which that's going to last me an incredible amount of time. But you see new strains, or somebody says, "Hey, do you want this?" And suddenly you're like, "Holy smokes, absolutely!" Yeah, we're not supposed to get rain today, I don't think. I think it's later in the week, which I really don't want. I would much prefer to have the sun. Oh, I'm sure, Sean. The bud rot's a real thing. And I mean, I am sure, since I did read a bunch last night, just I got to get back to the powdery mildew real quick. What's the solution for it? You got to make the plants wet. You've got to put an agent on there, either a non detergent dishwashing liquid, or they say milk. They give 100 not 101, 3 or 4 different things you can use if you have that. However, the idea is you have to put this wetting agent on, and I get predisposed to bud rot, so I can't win either way with that, and the rain's not going to help. I know, Scotty. I'm going to get that shipped out to you this week. Yep. I gotta laugh because I think the guy's freaking testicles are gonna blow off when he lifts it up, because I don't know. I'm definitely reinforcing both ends of it. I don't want any poles or anything to come flying out mid route. Yeah, for those who don't know, I bought a 8x8 tent and don't have the room to set it up. It's been sitting out in my barn for 3 years. So I am donating it to Scotty's cause because he's got room for it. Well, yeah. Go to his page, check out and just check his page out and just look around and you'll see. You will see indeed. He definitely needs another tent. Scotty 51. I like that. I like that. Wow, son of Odin. That's pretty cool. If there's 8 of you that work together, you know, that's cool. Thank you, Sean. You know what? I talked about in the beginning of when I first started growing. I bought anything and everything because I thought I was going to need it. And again, if the stuff's just sitting here and I know I'm not going to, those are the kind of things that I will, do in my giveaway, when we do that. Hey, absolutely, Frank. You heading out? Oh, McDonald's, absolutely. Get something good. Get something good. Scotty 420 Area 51. I like it. I like it a lot. Moonlit, that's what we do. We come in here and we have fun. We have fun, we engage. I will put some other stuff in here at some other point in time. We're going to take a look at pressing some flour on here. We'll take a look at making bubble hash. I'm going to show off some things that I have and get your opinions on them from you guys. But yeah, we just come in and have fun. It's topics or whatever you guys bring up. Or I do try and write out a little plan as what the hell I want to talk about every day. But you know, I usually do it when I'm high, so I have to be high again for it to make any sense. But speaking of that, yes, absolutely, Moonlit. Let's rip. That would be nice, JC. Before I rip, I am going to hydrate because I keep on reminding everybody that, and I never do it. All righty, let's go, people. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you, thank you. Couldn't be here, wouldn't be here without all you guys' support. And thank you for coming here. I appreciate it. Again, we got 22 people here, 31 likes. Oh, Hayes just snuck in. Sorry, we just did rips. But thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Thanks, Dragon, and thank all you guys. Again, I appreciate you so much. Growing in the cold humidity. Wow. And do you think that, well, that's interesting that you're growing at the lower temperatures. It's like you're growing in the dry zone. Huh. Never really thought about it that way, but that's kind of crazy. I was concerned that my tents sit around 73 to 76 all the time because I don't generally run heaters. Though I've got and I'll show it to you guys sometime. I have the AC Infinity, I don't know, Triforce, whatever the hell it's called, heater for my tent in the basement. Thank you for saying that, Moonlit. I appreciate it. I really do. I came here originally just to show off my grow, and I don't know, some people told me that I've got a big mouth and it might be interesting to see what would happen if I went live. And here we are. Here we are, and we're having fun. Absolutely a lot of fun. I'm going back up in the chat for a minute, but yes, Scotty, and I got to figure, or yes, Cavs, I got to figure that out because I can tell you what I'm pressing this year, and it's probably not going to give me a huge yield. I'm going to press some of the strawberry kush that I got. I'm pulling 2 plants just for that. So we will see. We will see indeed. I know they're not probably huge, you know, producing plants when it comes to that, but it's going to give me a lot of practice. Did I just see Panda come in? Woo, Panda, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for being here. Thank you, thank you. There's a law of tolerance. Okay. Hey, Tom, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here. We are hanging out, having some fun on this Labor Day. The Crumble Clubhouse. I like that. Yeah, we're just hanging out. We've been chatting for a little bit. I don't know, an hour. and hour and 40 minutes, hour and 45 minutes. And we are just having a great time, an absolute great time, talking about things, subbing up to each other. And we got a lot of killer people in here, and this is fantastic. You know, I've watched part of some stuff on Frenchie. I used to go and watch a lot of Strange Show, and he has some absolutely awesome videos on there, or did. I haven't been over in a while. I know he had big issues with YouTube and his site, and he pulled a lot of videos down, but oh my God, he had some fantastic stuff on there exclusively on Hash. And he aired a big chunk of that episode where they interviewed Frenchie and talked to Frenchie. And it was insane. But yes, I'll go back and check that out again. Because you have to verify age and pay shipping. Yeah. Yeah. And I get that hood, Billy. I do. Because you're dealing with so many people. And they have to understand that there is an expense and a cost. Now, in saying that, in paying shipping on seeds, if I'm going to pay shipping on seeds, I would appreciate if they would have the seeds packed in something plastic that's not going to get destroyed when the envelope that they put $1.20 on postage in got smashed and all the seeds are destroyed. If I'm going to pay shipping, I expect that the item's going to come, undamaged and packed appropriately, which I don't think there's anything bad about. We know that a lot of times when seeds are given away, they are in packs already. So I don't know. That's one of my tirades for that, but I get it. Moonlit, you got copyright strikes? I'm sorry. Yeah, I just saw Brett saying Hood Billy subbed up to. Yes, please, guys, make sure you are subbed up to one another. That's a beautiful part of being in here. We have that opportunity to take the quick hop off from our web page, however we're watching this, and check out someone's channel real quick, and then hop right back into the chat. So, Jesus, Hood Billy. See, you know, that's people just being whiners. Why can't you just be grateful and excited that you won something? I mean, jeepers. You're getting probably genetics that very few people have had an opportunity to even smoke, much less even ever have seeds for, or whatever the items are that are being given away. Oh, nice, Tom. Coffee in a fat bowl of Tuscan gelato. I have not had that before, but it sounds really good. I can tell you that my gelato OGs that I have outside right now, holy crap, do they smell good. Nothing like my 41s that I ran last year. So, as I say nothing like it, they are, well, for one, they're outdoors. Were my 41s outdoors last year? No, yes, I did a 41 outdoors last year also. And then I pulled two clones for indoors. But it's much sweeter. It's a very inviting smell, I guess I'll say. Sean for 20. Appreciate everyone's so we up here. No. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate seeing you in here. Ooh, we got some platinum asset going on. I'm smoking on strawberry kush. Yeah, sauce. Absolutely. It just caught me off guard, just right out the front door. So it's the second plant that I go to. and you just want to get a spoon and eat it. Thanks, Cavs. Thank you. Yes, absolutely, people. Scotty 420 has a card game every week. Stop on by. And it's pretty cool. It really is. It really is. Why not? It's another way of supporting other people's channels. Just swing by. I say that all the time. Make somebody's day. Stop at their channel. Sub if you want to. Yeah, sub to their channel. Go watch one of their videos. Drop that comment. That way they know you were there. I've started doing that much more frequently. A lot of times I just drop a like on their video and then be like, whatever I say is going to be stupid. And then it's like, it doesn't matter. It's the fact of, that communication that you're starting to cultivate, that relationship between the person. Yeah, Brett Scotty does give away great genetics. Right, John? Right. Oh, that's nice that the plugs at least got, high grade everything. A duck race for a giveaway. Fun. Yes, JC, I have. I don't remember on whose channel, but I did. I saw the duck race and I had to laugh about it. It's just kind of funny. Hood Bill, you got duck seeds? Okay. Yes, I do, Cavs. I get that now. Yes, Scotty. Yes. I got to go to Dab's channel. I mean, I go to Levels a lot, but I don't get notifications on Dab. Huh. Let me write that down because if I don't, I'm going to forget. You're probably right. Hood Billy. I was talking about that the other day that, I went and found this little space in my YouTube bullshit where it showed me how many, it showed me people that I had notifications on for everything, and I've subbed to a lot of people, and I'd probably say there's somewhere around 200, 250 people that I had notifications on. I go and look and it says 83. I'm looking at the people that are in there and I'm like, okay, but where is, this person or that person or whatever? And I go back to their page and I have to, I've been told I can't just put all notifications on there because it'll still be bounced out. I have to actually unsubscribe and then resubscribe to the person's channel, which is a pain in the ass. I do it, but it's still a pain in the ass. Well, thanks for checking, Sean. I always use the things my wife tells me when she gets notifications that I'm live. She will get the notification that I was live about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. She gets them a day late. And there's nobody I can gripe to about that. That's just exactly how it happens. Nice, Scotty. That is nice. I think that I'm a little bit high, but I'm going to pack up another bowl here. Jack, thanks for swinging in. Man, we are having a good time today. We are having a super good time. Just getting ready to pack up another bowl. The Jew tube. Wow. That's something I would say. That is funny. That is funny. It's not funny, though, that you are right. You know, it's sad. Oh, cool. Let me pack up another bowl here. Hey, I feel bad I haven't done any dabs lately. I'll save that for tomorrow. I gotta probably venture out and get some concentrates. I have very little bit left right now. I'm actually down to just some lemon haze that I had, which I absolutely love. But I have just, I think, a very little, enough to rip off a good one tomorrow, I'm sure. That's right, Sean. That is right. The mega grinder. There we go. Big as the palm of my hand. Put that in a sock and hit someone with it if they ever broke into my house. Alrighty, guys. What do you think here? I'm hitting up some strawberry kush. Throw in there what you guys are ripping on, and let's go. Let's go, people. Cheers. Oklahoma Coma. I love that name, Jimmy John. Mango stick rice. Nice. Blue Dream. All right, Brett. There I see it again. Lola's Psychosis. Mint jelly. Woot. And hanging out with us. Absolutely. We're all hanging out together and absolutely loving it. Illinois homegrown mystery seed. You know, I was talking about some mystery seeds that I am running right now, and I am loving what they're doing. Am I losing somebody in here? Somebody just say OG plant janitor? Because if so, I did not see you come in. So if you're in here, I apologize. Let me scroll up here and make sure I'm not just seeing or hearing things. Could be my high ass can't read right. We got some Blue Dream from Moonlit Farms. Tyson Strain Knockout. All right, Sauce. So the other day I was showing on a live that I grabbed some stuff from the dispo for my wife that she picked out because she wanted. So I had the Tyson Frozen Fist, which is a messed up name, but that's a whole nother story. But what did you think of the Tyson strains? Oh, Monkey, you reviewed Knockout by Tyson? I thought it was okay. I mean, it wasn't the Frozen Fist. It was nice. I didn't know what my expectation was going to be because I don't ever really do dispo weed. Unless somebody gives me a pack of it and says, here, have this, that's fine. I thought it was okay. So you're saying that the knockout's good, though? I'll have to check it out at some point in time. I'm sure one of my kids might go ahead and buy it. And then, of course, they always let me rip a bowl. So there's OG. I just didn't see you before. Sorry. Or was it that we started talking about you and then you went poof and appeared, which is pretty cool too. But needless to say, welcome to our fun Labor Day little chat here. We're having a lot of fun. We're talking about anything and everything. So just kick back, light up, and have a cool time. Oh, I'm sure it was Jack, but let me see. Zill's going to be tonight. Nice. Be talking lucid through the process. 9:30. Hey, that's cool. You're right, Cabs. That's just it. And I struggle sometimes, and this is me, to sit here and honestly say the one big thing that I disappoint myself on is sometimes when I look at what I've grown, it's not as pretty as some of the stuff. I can't say it's not as pretty. You see these nugs that people give you from the dispos or even from the plugs that you get sometimes, and they are rock hard tight, and I don't know if that's a flaw that mine don't turn out that super rock hard tight when they dry, or if the reality of it is that, our homegrown, which is better, which we cure in a more proper way, is turning out the way it is, and that's okay. If that makes any sense to what I just said. Oh my God, Jack. I didn't know that. That's funny. I agree, Frank. I agree 100%. But when you have people that come to you and say, I'd like to try some of your homegrown, I'm to the point now where I'm like, it may be ugly, but trust me, you're going to want to come back for it. Now, am I going to be a person and give them any more, sell them anymore? Maybe, maybe not. I take a lot of pride in what I do. And if I don't know. I'm weird about it. If somebody doesn't truly appreciate the plant and the weed and the process, I struggle with sharing with them sometimes, other than to try and convince them how great of a community we are. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, Jess, you might have been subbed up to Jimmy John already. We were talking about that earlier. People just getting pinged in and out of, just getting pinged off from our sub lists. Yes, Maine, I do agree with that. That they weed at the dispos does have PGRs. There we go again. OG saying the same thing. I can't believe that though, Scotty, that you have to do that twice a year. It's crazy. Nice, Rabbit. Nice. Yeah, I started germinating mine like a week and a half ago, I think it was, and maybe it was 2 weeks solid. And I'm just so excited. Everything's like almost, an inch and a half to 2 inches tall. They're hardying up. Yeah. By the way, Magic Frank, thanks for swinging in. I didn't really acknowledge you that well earlier. I just read your comment, but hey, thanks for being in here. I'll be swinging by you later, see what you have going on your for your Labor Day live. So, Brett, what have you been up to? What is going on in the wonderful world of Brett these days? Hey, Maine, I think that's awesome. Absolutely. And that's why, we are a community, all welcoming community. Everybody's welcome in here. Just come and hang out and kick back. If you smoke, you smoke. If you don't, you don't. We just like having a good time. Oh, you won't be live later, Frank, because you're going to get drunk. That's quite all right. That works too. We can hear about it tomorrow. Cooked all day on Saturday. Nice. It's okay being yourself, JC. Mr. Blue, I will pass the baton. Well, it was a struggle, I'm sure, to get everything moved, but there's got to be some relief now having a new grow spot. Scotty, that's funny. Absolutely, Rabbit. That's what we're here for. No drama, just fun. Absolutely fun. I bet it was. I bet it was, Scotty. I don't know what I would do if I had to move my shit. If for some reason I had to do that twice a year, I don't know. I would probably, I don't know. I don't even know where I'd move it to. And I know, Scott, you got a hell of a lot of stuff to move. It's not like you've just got, a 4x4 grow tent. That would have been, that's bad. Scotty and his home police. I bet it was a rush, Jack. Yeah, Maine, that's a reality. That's an absolute reality. And hey, at the end of the day, it's that's business. That's how they run their business, and we have to react accordingly. But it doesn't mean that we can't support other channels. And I appreciate you in here supporting us. It's fantastic. I apologize if maybe I'll go to your page and I won't leave a comment, but I try to be respectful of the other communities. If somebody's making little dolls for kids, I'm not going to blaze in there and say, hey, Crumbleweed 420, stoner off his ass, is going to come in here and say, hey, awesome little doll. They'll be like, what kind of hoodlums are coming into our community. So Instagram took down your account. The guy that does the commercial grow that I went to, Aaron Field. I believe you can find him on YouTube. Aaron Field. I can't remember what farms it is, but well, needless to say, 4 times he's had his Instagram pulled down. They still got you shadow banned, Maine? That's shit. Yeah, I know, Frank, but I can dream. I found out there are some people though that only communicate via Instagram, and some of them are very integral and very important to our community. I think isn't Summit one of the companies that basically asks you to contact them through Instagram? I think Summit Seed Company is. Don't quote me on that, but I know some people that have channels on here that have migrated over to Instagram or whatever so that they can post their content. But I think that's becoming an issue over there as well. Okay, OG, I'm right. Not that I needed to be right, but I mean, I try and remember this stuff when we talk about it, and sometimes it eludes my mind. Shadow band. So, does anybody want to hop in and give the definition of shadow band? And hold on a second, because no, I didn't call it yet. I'm going to be on for a little bit longer. I got one of my dogs has to go out, so give me a second, people. Hey, buddy. I'm sorry. Come on. Good morning, buddy. Good morning. There you are. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. Did you bring us anything back from Mickey D's, Frank? That's the important question. What is magic, Frank saying? Facebook and Instagram are screwed up spicy. I have noticed that with all the advertisements. I went over to my dad's the other day and he's sitting on his computer and there's all this porn on the top of the screen in the middle of Facebook. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, I can't make it go away. I'm like, all right, let me show you how to. Boo boop 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 boo. Okay, that's right. Summit Seeds has an Instagram page. Yep, it was Scotty that was saying it the other day. Drinking and smoking that J. Cultigan Seeds is Instagram based as well. So, that's it. And they may be on Instagram. Maybe we won't have a page on Instagram of our own and post, but we can definitely, as a community, go and support the content creators that are there, which again, you're going to have them in every line of work. You're going to have them in advertising. You're going to have them producing genetics. You're going to have all sorts of different things, people in marketing, all of that. And, again, and the growers, us, so we can support the people's content until they take it down. But I think it's not a bad thing to do. If all else fails, whiskey and weed. Woo! You do most of your business through Instagram, Frank? I did know that, Scotty. I did. At first I got confused when you were opening up some of your mail calls. You had multiple genetics. And I was like, oh man, this is cool. These are for giveaways. And I think that's badass. I'm hydrating. I am. I'm going to go back to the water though, because the coffee, I don't know, coffee's not cutting it. I think I put too much half and half in it because I don't know. Because now it's not as hot as it was when we first started here. Boo boop 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 boo. What I get from Summit Cultigan seeds. Really? They're all medical seeds? So let me ask a question on medical marijuana because I've never smoked it before. But I heard somebody saying, oh, well, medical marijuana, and I shouldn't even ask the question because I figured it out already, but what is the big difference between the medical marijuana and what we grow? Is it just strains, like specific strains that were designed to be medical marijuana that obviously would, increase, the desire to eat? pain management, probably some mental health into there. Why? What actually makes it medical seeds? That would be nice, JC. Okay, Tom. All right. The cannabinoids. Okay, Dragon. Lab testing. It's a breed. Cuts, true cuts. Okay. All right, Scotty, that makes sense. I mean, that truly makes sense. Absolutely, Tom. And that's, I mentioned that a little bit earlier that, we have people in here from all over the world. And it is a struggle. And it pains me to know that, and it still is that way in some states in the United States, but, that it's being in prohibition land where you can't do these things legally for this wonderful plant that does so much for us and so much for the world, creating jobs and all of that stuff. So, excuse me 1 second. Dog scratching at the door. Come on, buddy. Is that better? Come on. Dude, here you are. Here you are. There you go. Why don't you go get something to drink? Just catching up on the chat, everyone. I didn't know Curl Leaf was a medical shop. Okay. Yeah, I know, OG. Need a grower for your Growers Corner series? We got a lot of great growers in here. That we do. Absolutely. The community's filled with them. There are absolutely brilliant growers out there. I can say I gravitate towards, people who grow like myself. I don't it's difficult for me to look at 1,000 plant grow. I can admire the beauty of it, but I think of what it takes. I pour a lot of love into, X number of plants a year and plants a run, and it's crazy because when you get that big, can you love on each plant like you do right now? And do I need to grow, 14-foot monsters? Would it be cool? Absolutely. Oops, I'm not paying attention here. 420 subs. It's a beautiful thing. You're messed up. Just trying to catch up in the chat, guys, so I don't miss what anybody's talking about. You can create a seed or it's environmental, evolutionary. I know, Zill. That is what's so great. You know, when I found the community before I was growing, I could not believe the receptiveness of all of us. I mean, I know way back in the beginning there were a lot of haters on here over it, and there still are. Now, I'm not saying in our community, but people outside the community that are part of YouTube, you know, and that's, it's going to be what it is. I think every community has that. Your drink will say take the 18-week course if you don't have. Fuck that. You know, Cavs, I've talked about that before, that I have turned around and smoked stuff that they allege is, you know, like 30 some odd percent THC. And then I've turned around and had something that's 17 that's knocked me on my ass. You know, so I don't pay much attention to THC content percentages. I know in the breakdown of things, I probably should, taking a look at all of the total cannabinoids and all of that stuff, but you know, of what I'm growing, and I don't always pay attention to that. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Yeah, Tom, I'm sure. I am sure. I don't know of anybody who's got dispensaries that are really top notch. I mean, I've seen some on a couple of people's you know, channels that review all sorts of different things, everything from cannabis to, again, dispensaries, canna lounges, and stuff like that. So, okay, hold on one second here. I got to pop over to somebody's channel if you guys can tolerate me for a second. Give me 1 minute here. Sorry about that, everybody. You want a home grow hood, Billy? Where are you located, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, nice. Dragon subbing up to Hood Billy. Awesome. 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 I would believe that, Magic Frank. Absolutely. Absolutely. Down here, you don't even get a chance to smell anything. You know, not at all. I mean, I can say for the sake of argument that I do know the floor manager there, and he did direct us when we were there what not to buy. So I think that was nice, but if you don't want me to buy it, why are you selling the shit in your dispo? I guess that would be the real question at hand, other than the fact that they got it cheap and are dumping it. All right, back to the chat here, guys. I apologize. Oops, I'm way off in the chat here. Danville, Illinois, Hood Billy. Cool. Cool indeed. Well, I am looking at the time here, and it is 7:45. I'm going to stay on for another 15 minutes if you guys are okay with that. Yeah, another 15 minutes I think will be good. But I think we should all rip again. Huh. Alrighty, everybody. Let's rip. Remind me, people, I got to clean my glass. I better take care of that today. was. I thought I did. I thought I did, Frank, but I but I didn't. Gonna be there for opening day of deer season, huh? Boy, his chat's moving fast for me. I was trying to read what Son of Odin was saying way up there. Oh yeah. Yeah, that is awesome. 35 years. That's a long time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Yeah, swing over to Blue Magic Frank's when you have a chance. He's always got something going on over there, a wealth of knowledge, and he tells it like it is. That's something also. Tells it like it is, and from conversations that I've had, he's been doing this for a while, with great results. So, yeah, stop by. And I mean, stop by everybody's pages, because it is important that we support each other and support everyone. But, I think everybody in here has something going on. And if it's not involved with the cannabis community, we thank you anyway for supporting us and being in here and hanging out. Blue Magic. Boo, 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 boo. I'm loving it. Yeah, Frank. See, you've been over there, so. No problem, Frank. Not a problem. Hey, no problem, Jack. Thank you for swinging in. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. You go get on with your day. Rest from that move. Absolutely. If it makes you feel better, smoke it. Wow. We might want to hone that down a little bit because you just opened that up to a lot of things. But yeah, you could say that. Really, sauce. That's cool. I've talked about it before. I appreciate and value the breeders. It's not something that I don't think I ever want to get into. I think it's got to be amazing and rewarding, but yeah. Maine, thank you so much for being in here. Appreciate you. I'm going to be doing these Sunday through Wednesday. So if you feel like swinging in, please do. We'd love to have you back again. I know, Magic Frank. I know. Fucking neighbors. Yeah, Hood Billy. I was talking about that earlier. That, I used to beat myself up because my weed didn't look like the weed that I used to buy from the dispo or even that I'd get from my plug. So, yeah, I agree. Might not be pretty, but it sure does knock the shit out of you. Really, Tom. That's good. All right, Frank. I appreciate you. Have yourself a good day, too. I'm sure I'll see you around. Hey, I'm glad, Dragon, that you enjoy the vibe in here. I think it's great to sit here and interact with all you guys and, see what you think, what you like, what's going on in your worlds, and of course, how we're going to support this community. So, thank you, thank you. Nice. You know, I had a plant that was a male the when I was doing my run for outdoors. We had a lot of males. We had like seven, but one of them I didn't find till late, and it was probably my most vigorous and best plant. And I was so pissed. We had to rip it out of the tent and kill it, and it was like our prized possession. Ohio's double the price? Holy crap. Gotta glance up, make sure I'm not missing anybody here. What are you waiting for, JC? I thought you were making breakfast for all of us. Now I'm high, but I think food. Oh, that reminds me about food. I forgot to talk about this earlier. Males are always going to be the best plants. Somebody had said that, and that's why I'm concerned that my Spectre seeds are growing as vigorous and big as they are. I wonder if they're just going to pop and be males. You're checking in the Holiday Inn for a getaway, much needed. So, talk about food real quick. I decided I wanted to pick up some shit because I didn't know if I'd have the munchies or whatever on here. So I went and bought these M&Ms. Did anybody see that M&Ms is making new flavors? You might give a shit, you might not, but I'm going to tell you, they have M&M, let me not dump them, peanut butter and jelly. I just want to tell you, worst fucking idea out there. They taste like absolute shit. And what shit with fruit on it, shit with jelly on it is what they taste like. So it's the end of my rant on that. Don't buy them if you're high. Hey, Dragon, peace out. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Much love. Oh, you saw that little rant, Jimmy John? Yeah. Don't buy them. Do not buy them. See, JC, you gotta post this stuff. Do a short with it so we can check it out and we can love on those pictures of what you're making. Oh, wow, Hood Billy. I'm sure it did take time to quit coffee. Way back in the day when I went into rehab, we had, man, they took everything caffeinated away from you. It was unreal. 2025 shitty M&Ms. Absolutely. They got a whole bunch of weird different flavors. It's crazy. Yeah, I hear that, Hood Billy. Every time I go to the doctors, they ask me about my cannabis use, and I'm honest. And they're like, oh, well, you need to understand. And I'm like, I understand. I'm not going to stop. So, all right. I got a dog barking in the background. Let him out real quick. Good morning, buddy. Come on. You want to say hello to people? No? Got it. I would play with you right here like I usually do, but yeah, see? That's right, Zill. Zill wants to see too. I mean, come on now. It's only fair. It's FM more than likely the pollen will not be viable. Okay. I wonder that too when you're talking about it not being a true male. You know, the other part of that is when I've had a plant that's hermed, it herms late, really freaking late. Whereas I've got super ass sized buds, or, you'd say, oh, well, you were blind and you missed the shit. No, I'm up on my plants quite a bit. So, huh. Sorry for my quietness. I'm just catching up on the chat. All balls itch. It's going to be my quote of the day. All balls itch. Well, everybody, we are coming up on, we just hit 2.5 hours. So I think I'm going to wind this up. If you guys don't mind, I appreciate y'all, every one of you, for being in here. Thanks for hanging out for the last couple of hours. Again, we'll be back tomorrow morning if anybody wants to come and see what's going on. If not, you're busy doing your shit. Hey, I want y'all to have a super great day. And do not forget, stop by someone's page today, sub up to their page, watch a video, drop a comment. You're going to make their day. It's going to be a fucking wonderful thing. You guys, love y'all. Thank you.